Hello everyone and welcome back yet again to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're all having an amazing week. Currently it is Thursday and let's get right into the charts. Starting off with Bitcoin, of course, you can see right here and right now Bitcoin is trading below the range lows that we have right here, currently at 64.4k. From the POC level we are down around 5%, as you know. Basically right now what could happen is, if we are looking on the daily time frame right now, the RSI momentum did cool off a bit after being oversold right here and printing this bullish divergence that we had on the chart. Basically right now we've hit the 50 line, we are basically in the middle, so anything could happen here. We could consolidate a bit and price could go for another retest of the POC level and potentially reach 70,000.5k. This is the daily 50 EMA level right here, which is to be expected to get retested sooner than later. As you know, once we are in a downtrend, we are potentially always retesting this EMA. You can see it right here. Right here, we failed to retest it right here, so this EMA in bear markets is acting as key resistance for a bounce lower, but as you know, we could very well start dropping even lower, since Bitcoin does have a lot of liquidity built up to the downside. You can see it right here. We've grabbed most of it yesterday, and right now after hitting the weekly pivot level, acting as support, as you can see it right here, with the stock market also dropping and recovering right now after yesterday's FOMC meeting. The rates do remain unchanged. You can see it right here, 3.75. Basically inflation is still high and the markets are expected to perform bad in the next coming months. Stock market, the indices, as you know, they are still in a heavy uptrend right now, and we could be forming right here somewhat of a range, and then once this range breaks, this is when we are going to see that explosive move, be that either towards the downside or to the upside. But as of right now, with how things are looking, I do expect for this potential next move to be actually to the downside, and once the final crash comes for the stock market, this is when I expect for Bitcoin to actually form that bear market bottom. Like last time right here, for example, we are potentially going to form a sideways slow grinding range towards the downside, like we did same thing right here. And then once this range breaks, this is when the next rally starts, and of course this is gonna take some weeks and months to play out. This is not a TA for today from tomorrow, basically, so this is going to take some time to play out, and things are lining perfectly right now with the dollar actually trying to push above this key resistance right here. And once the dollar is strong, this is exactly when Bitcoin tends to course dump towards the downside. So the next targets for the dollar are sitting right here at around 101.8, and if you look at it on the weekly, you can see this is also where the yearly pivot is sitting, so this could be very well the next target for the dollar index. And also the 200 weekly EMA is sitting just around here, basically above us, so this is going to be the tough resistance that we want to see the dollar break, and then we are potentially going to get that retest of this key level that we have right here. But as I said, for right now things are lining up perfectly. The dollar is strong, Bitcoin gets weaker, forms a bottom, and then the dollar starts reversing towards the downside and continues its trend towards the downside to potentially retest those lower targets, but this is for another time. Right now we take it level by level, of course. For right now, for Bitcoin, for the short term, you can see CVD is still high and strong. volume. We had a decent volume coming yesterday because of the news, but right now volume is dying out once again. Open interest, as you can see right here, is also dying out and getting lower since ever we formed this top right here. You can see price has been going down, so has open interest, but CVD is remaining higher, which is still a possibility for us to get another leg up towards the upside. As I said, still those liquidations right here could get taken out first. All the way down towards 61k, there is a lot of liquidity stacked, so expect for that liquidity to get taken out sooner or later. Fear and greed index right now is remaining at 22, basically nothing new here. Spot ETFs, we are seeing another outflow of around 82 million, this time from BlackRock as well. They are selling off around 30 million, but as I said, right now the bigger sell-offs have stopped. We've not seen in about 4 or 5 days. Basically, you can see last 5 days we have seen basically normal numbers, and before that, the last 3 to 4 weeks, we saw always crazy number above 400, above 500, above 300 million of the spot ETFs being sold out. So this is potentially nice to see that the selling pressure is coming to an end. And of course, once we get that final drop, I believe you could argue that this potentially could be the bottom, since we swept this low right here, and we get a consolidation, and this when the next bull rally starts. But I believe we are due for another drop to potentially take out this particular low that we have right here. It right now is also trying to get back above the value area low, but is failing to do so. As you can see right here, we did not even retest the value area low of this range that we had. Actually, if we pull it like this, we actually did retest the value area low. So this is why it's important how you pull these ranges. Of course, you pull it a bit to the backside, you can see we gotta pull it from this candle, and this right now is retested. So as you can see, a perfect rejection. Hype right now trying to break out of this all-time high that we had previously. You can see we dropped around 10% after hitting and creating a new all-time high, and basically you could say this was a bearish swing failure pattern. After sweeping this high, we failed to break out, and then price drops. But right now the question is, will this consolidate and flop, make a lower low potentially around right here, around $50, or we are going to consolidate a bit and break out for another new all-time high? This is basically nobody can tell, since hype is right now in a trending market. We are trending up, even though Bitcoin is down and the dollar is getting stronger. Hype right now is the strongest coin in the market, and of course we could very well tag some targets above 82 or around $96 before we actually reverse towards the downside once again. You know, what goes up has to come down, so this is very key to watch out for. But basically, I personally would not be looking to short this anytime soon. You could, as you see here, basically just long the pullbacks, and this is how you make the money in such coins. And of course, you could be just looking to short Bitcoin for those bigger moves towards the downside, like we've got those previous times right here. Long versus short ratio for the day right now is, as you can see, pretty even, basically 50-50 on the major exchanges. On hyperliquid, the bigger whales are also sitting more on the short side. So this is basically going to be very key. If we start breaking below this weekly pivot and below this order block level, then we could start heading lower and we could see Bitcoin trading below $60,000 again. We do have, actually we don't have that much important news for today, and tomorrow is actually Friday, is a bank holiday in the US, so we won't be seeing a New York open. The exchange will be closed, so today is the last volatile day, so to say, for the markets, for the stock markets, and for Bitcoin potentially. And yeah, I do believe that this would cover it for today, guys. Hope you liked the video, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.